Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 on graphing. So let's recap some important rules that we're going to be working with today. So remember that we have 4 quadrants, which is 4 parts of our graphs. In quadrant 1, we have both a positive x and a positive y. In quadrant 2, we will have a negative x and a positive y. In quadrant 3, we will have both a negative x and a negative y. And in quadrant 4, we will have a positive x and a negative y. So let's take a look at this example. But before we begin, I want to focus on this graph right here. So in the middle right here, we have what we call our origin. And our origin starts at 0, 0. So this is 0, 0 for x and 0 for y. Think of your axes as just number lines. And our numbers increase as we move to the right. So that's why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and here would be 5. And then when we move to the left, that is where our negative numbers are. So we have -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. So to the right, we have our positive numbers, and to the left, negative. And now when it comes to our y-axis, it's the same thing. As we go up, think of it as, remember those examples when we talked about negative and positive numbers, where if it's above sea level, it's positive, and below it's negative. It's kind of like that. So when it's above the origin, we just increase our numbers like normal. We go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then when we go below 0, it's -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. As it goes up, it's positive, and as it goes down, it's negative. So that's kind of the breakdown. Now let's work on the following problems. The first thing that they want us to identify is, where is the school? Well, the school is this one. So let's see. Remember that our coordinates are always x, comma, y. Our x for where the school is lands right here at 2. I'm going to put 2, comma, and then the y lands exactly at 4. So 2, comma, 4. The police station lands right here. And the x for the police station is -1. And the y for the police station is right here at 2. So therefore the police station is at -1, comma 2. My x is -1 and my y is 2. The carnival is over here. The carnival lands where x is -3, so we're going to put -3. And it lands where y is also -3, so we're going to put -3, comma -3. And finally, the house is here at 3, comma, and the y is -1. Therefore, it's 3, comma, -1. And let's go back to our rules, where we have our 4 quadrants. The school is in quadrant 1, where we have a positive x and a positive y. And we can see here that we have a +2 and a +4. The police station is located in quadrant 2, where we have a negative x and a positive y. And we can see that here with -1 and +2. The carnival is in quadrant 3. Therefore, it would have both a negative x and a negative y. And we could see that here that it's -3, comma, -3. And finally, the house is in quadrant 4, which means that we're going to have a positive x and a negative y, which we can see here is 3 and -1. So that's kind of just the explanation behind the rules of each quadrant. So now take a moment to try these out. And remember how we set up our graph before. And when you're ready, unpause the video and let's work on it together. Let's start with this point. This point is to the left. Therefore, it's going to be negative. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 points to the left of 0, which means my x would be -3. And down here, it goes below 0 for y. So therefore, it's also going to be a negative y. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, which is also -3. So my point is -3, -3. And I could confirm this because this is in quadrant 3, which means that we have both a negative x and a negative y. For the second one here, it is in quadrant 2. And let's see. It goes one time to the left of 0, which means x is -1. And it goes above y, therefore it's 1, 2, 3 above 0. Therefore my y would be +3. And remember, in quadrant 2, we always have a negative x and a positive y. Here, this point goes one time to the right of 0 and one time above 0. Therefore, this is just 1, 1. Finally, this point goes 1, 2, 3, 4 times to the right, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 times below, which means that this is going to be a -4. And that's it. Now let's work on the second example, where instead of finding out where the point is, we're going to plot the point itself. So let's start with this first one, -5, 6. Well, -5 is our x. So along our x-axis, we're going to look for -5. Now it's not directly plotted on here, but we know that here is -4, so right next to it should be -5. And now our y is 6, which means that along the x-y axis, we need to look for 6. Now it's not on here again, but we could infer that this is 5, and above 5 would be 6. Therefore, the point -5, 6 would be exactly right here. Now let's do the second one in red. 3, -2. So my x is 3, which is right here, and my y is -2, which is down here. 1, 2. Down here at 3, -2. -2, -3. My x is -2, which is right here, and my y is -3. So I'm going to go from -2 all the way down until -3, which is right here. And then finally, 4, -5. Along the x-axis, 4 is right here, and -5 goes all the way down here. And that's it. Now take a moment to pause the video and try these out. And when you're ready, unpause the video and let's work on it together. They want us to plot the following point, -4, 3. Well, remember, this is x and this is y. -4 along the x-axis would be 1, 2, 3, 4 points to the left of 0, and +3 would be 1, 2, 3 points above. So that is exactly where -4, 3 is. This is -4, and this is 3 points above 0. Now let's plot this one, -3, -2. -3 along the x-axis is 1, 2, 3 points to the left of 0, and -2 is 1, 2 points below 0. This will be -3, and this will be -2. Here we have 2, 1. 2 is our x, -1 is our y. So along the x-axis, 2 lands exactly 2 points away from 0, and -1 lands exactly 1 point below, which is right there. So for y, it's -1, and for x, it's 2. Now let's plot this one. Remember that -5 is our x, and 3 is our y. -5 on the x-axis lands exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to the left of 0, and 3 lands 1, 2, 3 points above, right there. For y, it's 3, and for x, it's -5. And that's it.